Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So last week we discussed the 14th chapter of the Gita, and the chapter title was, and the acronym for it was trap, if you remember. And what is the trap? The spirit soul in the material world trapped by the three modes. These three modes create a great illusion for the jiva, for the soul. Right? Now Krishna further goes on to text 50, chapter 15, and explains, what is the material world, what is the spiritual world, what are we doing here, what should not be done, how to go back to the spiritual world. uh, a small chapter once again, but a very condensed information there. And a very favorite, whoever has studied the Gita, whoever has commented on the Gita, and whoever recites the Bhagavad Gita, a very, very favorite chapter. Practically entire philosophy, entire truth put in very succinct, you know, uh, 15th chapter put in a very succinct way in mere 18 verses, right? That's all that this chapter is, right? So the previous chapter was 27 verses. This chapter is simply 18 verses, but amazing, simply amazing. Why is it amazing? Because when we try to look at this world where we are living, we just take birth, and you find some animals, their eyes don't open for weeks. For humans, as human babies, our eyes do not get formed again for a few months properly. We cannot see all colors and everything. But as we start looking at this world, our worldview is very self-centered. We look at this world with everything. We keep ourselves in the center. My benefit, my pleasure, my ways. And then when we look at this world, we cannot see the world for what it is. Right? So when Krishna explains, oh, I have created this world and I will tell you what it is, right? Like sitting here, right? If we try to click pictures of the moon, of the sun, of any other planet, right? From here we try to look at it, it will be complete. What we will get to see something different from actually what could be there, right? What should be there. Similarly, when we look at this world, right? Like Robin Pro will say, oh, that's a childish view. Oh, how does a child look at the world? How does a young person look at the world? An old man's view, uh, a sage's view. How look at the way they see the world, right? Like Abhishek Prabhu, let's say, may have an aquarium at his home, right? In the aquarium there are fishes, right? Now, if Abhishek Prabhu tries to speculate, what must this fish be thinking about this creation? Okay, forget creation, just the aquarium. I am born here. This is the size of my world. Food comes from somewhere from top, it falls. Whenever it falls, I eat it, right? Something moves here in front of me, in between here and there, right? But that's the worldview for the fish. And if the fish is told, oh, there's a country called Canada, there's a country called, there's a prime minister there, there's a government there, there is a huge country, the fish may not have any idea. The fish is just happy and satisfied within the aquarium and thinks this is what is the world. All of us, when we look at this world, we also have same conception. We do not understand the whole world, the full creation. So from where do you understand? From where do you get this world view? Proper world view? The creator can give it. So Krishna in the 15th chapter is going to tell us this material world where we live. He talks about the spiritual world we live. He says, why are we here? What to do to go back over there? Right? So this is the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, generally titled as Purushottama Yoga. So the acronym for this chapter is going to be HOME. HOME. Where is our real home? Our real home is the spiritual world. The soul is trapped in this material world, is trapped in this material body, but the soul belongs to the spiritual world. You'll find none of the religions will say, this is the place to live. You take Islam, they will say Jannat. Right? You take Christianity, they will say Kingdom of God. You take Sanatan Dharma, they will say Vaikuntha. Where are these places? This is not the place. That's the place where we go to. The practice of Dharma, the practice of spirituality. As we advance, we'll come to know how do you go back. Like in the 8th chapter, we had discussed, Krishna had given a set of verses, law of death. What is law of death? At the point of death, whatever you think of, you will get another body to fulfill that desire. And Krishna had said, but at the point of death, if you think of me, antakale cha mameva smaran mugdva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayah. At the point of death, if you think of me, smaran, Krishna said, you will come back to me. You will attain to my nature. What is this called, coming back to me? Attaining Krishna's nature. This is explained in the 15th chapter. The spiritual world. The Atma no more trapped in the material body. The Atma no more in the material world. The Atma will go back to the spiritual world where it belongs. Right? Further more details will be discussed in this chapter. Let's dive in. HOME. Verse 1 to verse 5. The first 5 verses of the 15th chapter. H stands for home or hotel. Home is also a place to stay. A hotel is also a place to stay or live. This world that we are living in, is it a home or is it a hotel? We'll discuss that. Text 6 to text 11, right? Krishna, that on and on, over and over again. That's O. On and on, over and over again. Text 12 to text 15, very beautiful. 4 verses, Krishna gives how we completely depend on Krishna. So M, maintainer of body, mind and soul. That's HOM. M, and now last E. This is verse 16, 17, verses 16, 17, 18. It is called essence in 3 verses. Once again, the entire chapter in 18 verses, the last 3 verses once again summarize and give the benefit of knowing this, understanding this chapter properly. That's 16, 17, and 18. So HOME. Let us dive in. H, verse 1 to verse 5. that is home or hotel. So like I was saying, spiritual world and the material world. So Krishna explains in the first verse that there is an inverted tree where the roots are on top and the branches are below. Right? Have you ever seen an inverted tree in this world? Yes, in the reflection in water. The original tree is on the bank of the lake or the river, but the inverted tree, the reflection is on the water. Right? Now, if I have to eat the mango, let's say it's a mango tree, if I have to eat the mango, the reflection seems to be a very easy place to go to. Who will climb the tree? Who will pluck the mangoes from top? Let me jump into the water. I may try, but I will not be able to catch even one mango. Seems like I'm seeing the mango, but it's a reflection. Krishna says the material world that we are living in is the reflection of the spiritual world. The Atma wants to become happy. Everyone is trying, but everyone is trying in the reflection of this material world. The original world is the spiritual world, but we all are trying and struggling to find happiness in the reflection. So the real mango tree is on the bank of the river. That's spiritual world. But the material world is like the reflection of that mango tree in the water. Right? So just like in mathematics, we had this positive axis, then zero, and then negative axis. So the negative axis is like the material world. The positive axis is the spiritual world. Right? And we find the beauty in this world, this body that we have. Everyone wants to look smart and beautiful, but it's a material beauty. Just like the material world is temporary, the material beauty of this world also is temporary. Just like spiritual world is eternal, spiritual beauty is to be sought after. Right? So, and what do, in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, oh, the beauty of this world is but skin deep. That's all. A little skin opens up, and how quick we want to go to doctor and cover it. No, just have a look at it. Whatever is inside, you're getting to see it now. Why do you want to cover it up? Why do you want to put a bandage over it? Right? Why do you want to apply cream? Oh, because material beauty is not the real beauty. It is not. It cheats us. Right? So Krishna says, Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham Ashwattam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. If you want to call yourself Vedavit, the knower of knowledge, the knower of Vedas, Krishna says, this tree you should understand. This reflection tree, this perverted tree, that you should try to understand. Its branches are spreading up and down. Adascha urdhvam prastistastasya shakha. Right? What is it nourished by? This inverted material tree. And each of us have our own tree. Each Atma has its own material world that we are expanding with. And goes on and on and on. Right? Like Gaurav Prabhu will say, Prabhuji, I didn't do any wrong. Why today's day is such a bad day for me? I'm just giving an example. Why such a day? Today's day is a bad day for me. Oh, this inverted tree of material world and my karma in this world. That karma expands this tree. Right? And I keep on going up and down on this tree. Pushed up, pushed down, pushed sideways. the Atma cannot remain stagnant. Right? The Atma wants to be peaceful, but no, material world is not the place. Right? And what keeps us here, the twigs on this tree are called the sense objects. For each of the senses, there are so many distracting sense objects. Right? Like we would like to give the best to the eyes, the best to the tongue, the best experience to the skin. And all these experiences trap us in this world. The Atma thinks I am the material body. The material body searches for things in the material world. And the Atma remains trapped. The soul remains trapped. Right? And the roots, if you have seen a banyan tree, as it grows, in some years, you cannot understand which is the stem and which is the root, which are the branches. Everything becomes so complex. So if Gokul Prabhu decides, yes, I want to cut this, material, inverted metal tree for me. My tree I want to cut. Go find out where is the root. You have to cut the tree from its root. But the banyan tree, where is the root? Where are the branches? Where is the stem? You can't make out after some time. Very difficult to. So Krishna says similarly, to break this tree, so that the real form of this tree cannot be perceived. If you see in the text 3 and 4, Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate. Oh, very difficult to understand this tree, or understand the form of this tree. The only solution is, right? Generally, as devotees, we want to plant trees. We want to, we actually, we, we want to save every life. We don't kill, we don't harm. Like if you've been to, Vrindavan temple, ISKCON Vrindavan or ISKCON Juhu, during the construction, Prabhupada saw there are trees which are coming within the construction area of the temple. And Prabhupada said, these trees should never be cut. Those trees are still there, right? After more than 50 years. But in this chapter, Krishna says this tree should be cut. Which is this tree? This tree of the inverted material, this Ashwatha tree, the banyan tree. This tree has to be cut. Now one will say, okay, the soul has to be delivered. This very, thick, this very, difficult to perceive tree has to be cut. What weapon to use? Right? The soul wants to break from the material world and goes to the spiritual world. How do I break this tree? Can I bomb it? Is there an axe that I can use? Krishna says, yes, there is an axe. He says, Asanga Shastrena, the axe of detachment. No more searching for happiness in this world. Keeping away from the sense objects, the acts of detachment. But we find so many make attempt. I want to be serious in my spiritual practice. Right? Like Abhishek Prabhu will say, Prabhuji, I have decided I'm going to wake up early in the morning. Now that it's summer especially, I will chant. But then our attachment to sleep comes up. Just like earth has a gravitational pull, our bed also has a certain pull. It does not allow us to go out. No, no. Just be here for some more time. Spend some more. You can sleep a little. You're so tired. See, but detachment means I will not sleep. I will sleep as much as needed. And I have to do tapasya. I have to do austerity. Right? So Krishna says the acts of detachment, but then those who try for it, they find very difficult to continue on and remain, with, so Krishna says that acts of detachment has to be sharpened by determination. You need the acts of determination, detachment sharpened by determination. Asanga shastrena drinena chitva. Right? Then Krishna says, what is the process to follow once you have detachment and determination? Krishna says in the text 5, there's a surrendering process. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha samyet gacchantya mudha padamavyayam tat. Krishna says a certain consciousness will be needed for cutting this tree. Detachment is very nice. Determination is very good. But what else would be required? Krishna says you have to be those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. So that's the surrendering process given in text 5. Now, Krishna describes the nature of the spiritual world, which is the goal of this surrendering process. Like you read any Prabhupada book, any Prabhupada lecture, any Prabhupada discussion, you'll find an oft repeated statement would be, we have to go back home, back to Godhead. To the point, Srila Prabhupada has given the title of ISKCON's monthly magazine, Back to Godhead. We want to go back home, back to God. It means we want to go to spiritual world. What are we here for? Why are we chanting Hare Krishna? Why are we associating with devotees? Why do we study scriptures? Not to remain in this world. Not to become a Swargavasi, but to become a Vaikunthavasi. Right? We don't want Swarga. Right? That's not the eternal place for Atma. Vaikuntha is our goal. No stopping before that. Doing everything possible. No stone left unturned. The Atma has to be delivered. The Atma has to go back to the spiritual world. Okay? So Krishna, generates this attraction in us by giving some explanation about the spiritual world. Right? So in text 6, Krishna talks about na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante taddhama paramam mama. Krishna talks about his, till now you'll find in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has been talking about Dhama. Here he says Param Dhama. Even within the Vaikuntha planets, there is a Paramadhama, Krishna's abode. There is Lord Ram's abode. There is Lord Narsinghdev's abode. All the avatars are there in the spiritual world. Like as Atma, I don't die. How about these avatars, Lord Ram, Narsinghadev, Vamanadev, Krishna? One should not think they die. Are Baba, you also don't die. The body dies. How can Krishna die? Okay, if they don't die, they're eternal, then where are they? They are in the spiritual world. They come to this world, right? This level of consciousness that we are in, to inspire us, to set an example for us, to give knowledge to us, to show the path to us. Come back. That's where you belong. Right? Like Gokul Pro will remember and recollect, before the movie is released, they show a trailer. What is the objective behind showing the trailer? The trailer will attract you to come and watch the full movie. Similarly, Krishna comes in this world and performs his pastimes, which are like a trailer. The real movie is in the spiritual world. Come and join me over there, Krishna is saying. Come, put your best efforts. Take to good association. Give up your dirty habits. Become detached. Become determined. And deliver the soul. Right? So Krishna says, what is that spiritual world? And Prabhupada, before I say what Krishna says, Prabhupada says in the purport to this text 6, Prabhupada says, one should be captured by this information, Prabhupada says. So captured that one should make, after listening, hearing this verse, Prabhupada says one should make a determined decision. Yes, I have to go to spiritual world now. Krishna says, okay, in this world we need sun and moon to light this world. Imagine there was no sun or there was no moon. And especially all of you living in the western part of the world, right? How much you seek sun. Now when summer was going on, wow, it gives life. It gives health. It feels so nice. Everyone is so happy. But imagine there was no sun and moon. That means sun and moon have been placed in this world just so that there is a semblance of life. Krishna says spiritual world is the place where is no sun required. There is no moon. There is eternal light there. No electricity. Na tad bhasayate suryo. You don't need surya abhas there. Na shashanko. You don't need the moon there. Right? But even still, you see the material world that we are living in. In the day, we need light. The sun is there, full blown light. And in the night, we want to sleep. Like a night bulb, the moon comes up. And the night bulb is cooling also. What a creation, eh? What a beautiful creation, sweet creation of Krishna. The material world is like this. Imagine how spiritual world must be. So, in the spiritual world, there is no sun, there is no need of the moon, no need of the light, no need of electricity or any kind. Why? There's eternal light there, right? So, न तद् भासयते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam. Srila Vishwanath Thakur says, especially in the material world, what are we looking for? We are looking for loving exchange from friends, from parents, from a lover. We are looking for rasa. We are looking for the taste relationships. Right? Which are those tastes that we are looking for? We are looking for, dasya rasa, the rasa of servitude, sakhya rasa, my friend, my dear friend, my parents, my girlfriend or a boyfriend or a lover. But what happens to the relationships of this world? They don't last. They don't stand the test of time. And even if I love the other person, everything is temporary here. It is snatched away. Only in the movies it looks good and they happily lived ever after. Nobody lives ever after, no matter what happens, right? And in traditional Indian marriages, when the boy and the girl are married, they will take 7 circumambulations around fire, right? And the purohit, the priest will say, now सात सात जन्म का नाता बन गया है. Now 7 lives you will be together. अरे 1 life पता नहीं किसी को. And who will go where after that, right? But the hope is there. Let us make this world the spiritual world. We make a home here. Oh, it will remain like this only. We develop relationships here, they will remain like this. But we forget everything is anitya here. Everything is temporary. But in the spiritual world, tadhama paramam mama, no comparison. This material world is the inverted, reflection, ulta. Exactly opposite. The spirit, whatever is not here is there. And whatever is there here is here, it is not there. It is that, different spiritual world. So Krishna attracting us, come. There are 5 types of loving exchanges with Krishna that each individual soul can have in the spiritual world. So Krishna, uh, uh, in the text 7, Krishna talks about Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana Mana Shasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Krishna says, Mamai Amsha. Every soul is my Amsha. Like the hand is part of the body, the head is part of the body. Similarly, we are Amsha of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. The hand is meant to serve the body. The head is meant to serve the body. Every part is meant to serve the whole. So Atma is meant to love and serve Krishna. Mamai amsho jiva loki. And for how long have we been the part and parcel of Krishna? How long will we continue to be part and parcel of Krishna? Sanatana. We are eternal part and parcel. We will never become God. By going to spiritual world, we are not going to become Krishna. There is no competition there, right? To become God. Competition is there. Who will love more? Who will serve more? And even Krishna is part of that competition. Those of you who have Bhagavad Gita, that Bhagavad Gita cover, if you see, who is serving whom here? Krishna is the driver and Arjuna is sitting behind. Right? Imagine. Krishna, God, is so eager to serve his devotee. One time, devotees in Detroit, they had made an exhibition, a diorama exhibition. A lot of life-size dioramas were made. And they invited Srila Prabhupada to come and witness the exhibition. And when Prabhupada entered, the first diorama, life-size diorama that they had put was the exact cover page, the photo on the cover page of Bhagavad Gita. 5 horses with the chariot, Krishna sitting in front and Arjuna behind. Imagine horses are there, beautiful Krishna, Arjuna is there. And Prabhupada was looking at the diorama for a long time. And Prabhupada stood there. And then the first comment that Prabhupada gave on the first diorama that he saw, everybody felt so, they gasped and they felt so bad. Oh, Prabhupada commented something like this. What was Prabhupada's comment? Prabhupada's comment was, your horses are more beautiful than Krishna. And everyone thought, oh, are we so bad at doing things that, horses are looking more beautiful than Krishna? And then Prabhupada continued and said, because your horses are serving Krishna. When the soul serves Krishna, that's our real beauty. We are back in our eternal relationship with Krishna. And when we are away from Krishna, we are the most ugly. We are dealing with the most ugly world and the most ugly other people, I can say, with whom I have no connection. With birth, somebody is called, oh, this is mother, that's father, that's brother, that's sister, that's uncle, that's auntie, that's my country. This all comes after my birth. And this all is connected to the body, which I am not. I am soul, my connection is with Krishna. How Sanatana, eternal connection with Krishna. But what is happening now? Krishna says, Manaha Shashthani Indriyani. The 6 senses which include the mind, the soul is suffering with that. The soul thinks this mind and senses are my friend. No, they are your enemy. Don't trust this mind and senses. They're enemy at in my condition, they're my enemy at this stage. Manaha shasthani indriyani. These mind and senses drag me into this material world and keep me bound and attached, and only expand the tree of the material world for me and make it all the more difficult to cut this tree for me. Right? For me, it becomes so difficult. So Krishna says, Manaha shasthani indriyani, prakriti sthani karshati. What is this karshati? The soul has to take on different bodies, birth after birth after birth and death, birth and death. We don't want it. But the soul is pushed into this material creation. Change of the bodies. Why? Because when the soul roams around in this world, it picks up different conceptions. Krishna gives the example of the air. As the air travels, if it goes from a nice garden, it will pick up fragrance. But if the air moves around in a dirty place, it will smell foul. Similarly, Atma carries conceptions while roaming around in this world with with the mind and senses. And whatever conceptions are there in the mind and senses, at the point of death, whatever is strong out of it, I will take birth again. So, and we keep on taking more gross bodies, right? That's why we find so much disparity in this world. Somebody's tall, somebody's short, somebody's black, white, yellow, brown, man, woman, children, child, what not. Rich, poor, strong, weak, beautiful, ugly, healthy, diseased. All these are nothing but simply different conceptions. The Atma has got nothing to do with it. These are all changes in the body. But I start thinking, I am poor, I am ugly, I am strong, I am rich. You are nothing of it. Right? So, Krishna talks about soul's migration. Right? Right? So, generally, the soul transmigrates from one body to another. One may think that happens at the point of death. There's happening within this life. Of us were babies. We had baby body. Where is body? We were young. Where is that body now? Many of us are going towards middle age. Where? Are we changing bodies? Yes. But fools cannot see it. The fools cannot understand. Oh, this body is changing. And at death, I will get another body. Only those who are wise, those who have studied scriptures, those whose hearts are pure can see, oh, the dog, the Atma has accepted the dog's body now. And the wise person will think, what this soul must have done to receive a dog's body. There are karmas which must have been done in the previous life. That's why such a body is awarded. Right? So generally when people will look at a bird, oh, let me click a photograph. Somebody looks at an animal or Animal Planet, National. Oh, it's from last. So Krishna says, Vimudhana nupashanti Pashyajnana chakshushaha. Home, HOMEM. Spiritual world is the place to live. Krishna lives in the spiritual world while I am in this world. Is Krishna doing anything for me. Do I need Krishna? Like sometimes people say, I'm doing good. I don't need God. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Please, please, please don't trouble me. Don't try to convince me. No, 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 no. I don't need God and all. Why should I chant? Why should I study Bhagavad Gita? What has God done for me? 15th, 16th, sorry, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. How Krishna maintains the very body. How Krishna maintains the mind, and Krishna also maintains the Atma. In at every stage, in every conception that we have of us as either body or mind or things, without Krishna's help, function even in this world. If the world is where we go, and Krishna is inviting us, one may ask, while in the material world, text 12, Krishna says, look at the cosmological arrangement. It is because of me. In text 13, Krishna says the terrestrial arrangement. It is because of me. Text 14, Krishna says the physiological arrangement. I have made it. Text 15, Krishna says the spiritual arrangement. That also I have done. Just like children, they don't have to worry. Oh, will we have a house? Parents will arrange. The children don't have to worry. Tomorrow's food, parents will arrange. If I fall sick, parents will arrange for medicine. Like childlike, and that's how we are in this world. Everything arranged by God. Right? Those of you who are working in software company, right, or software field, somebody says, no, apni mind work, and out of that I'm eating. Okay. 1 month of hard work, you only made software, and that also written with bugs. Go eat it. From your effort, all come out with software with bugs. Or somebody will say, I work in my factory. Okay, eat your nuts and bolts then. Sir, you need grains. You need milk. You need fruits. They don't come from your factory, sir. They are still coming from God's factory. They are still coming from nature, not your nature, God's nature. You completely depend on God. But it's only our ego that does not allow us to accept and bow down before God. Thank you, God. And it's part of history in Russia or USSR in those days. When the communists were ruling, what would they do? The communists would control everything, right? Like in India, those of from my generation remember, for a for a scooter to be bought, you had to apply, and 6 months waiting period. For a milk bottle, you stand in a queue. For everything, right? Everything is government controlled, license Raj, they would call it. So in Russia, Prabhupada says, what would these communists do? They will tell people, oh, you still believe in God? Because communism means no God. They're atheists. So we don't need God. We have the resources. Let us divide amongst ourselves and live peacefully and nicely. And Prabhupada would say, you put 5 dogs in a room and tell them, live peacefully. Oh, they will bark and kill each other. But these communists have this utopian idea. We all, like brothers and friends, we will live together. No, sir. So these atheist communists, what would they do? They will tell people, okay, please go to church. And Russia is even till date is an Orthodox Christian country. This communist, what would they do? Tell them, go to your church. Pray to your God. Oh God, please give me my daily bread. And simple, faithful people, they will go pray. And when they come out, people, this communist would stand outside and ask, did God give you your bread? I said, no, we didn't get anything. And because everything is in the control of this communist, they would have parked a truck full of bread, right? Some distance, and they will ask these people who have just come out of the church, now pray to us, communists, please give us our daily bread. And when people would pray, please give, they would take out bread from the truck and give it to them. And now these people would ask, these communists, who gave you bread? Who gave you the bread? God or us? We don't need God. This is how these people would make. No, no, no. We need God. For what do we need God? If God is going to be there, oh, only problem and troubles happen because of God and religion. Right? In text 12, Krishna says, you need light. I am the source of all light. Huh? Jadadityaгаtam tejo jagadbhasayit. So the sun and the moon, the light, right? Everything comes from me. Krishna is saying this light. Then Krishna says, now all of us are sitting on the earth. Imagine, just think of it. This earth is, that's what they say, rotating around the sun. Our Bhagavatam does not agree. Bhagavatam says sun is also moving and the planets, the whole creation is moving. But we are told sun is stationary and the planets are moving around. Quite a wrong conception, even according to physics. But that's what they have taught us. Chalo, maan lete. Now, the earth is, if I can use the word running, the earth is moving. And not just moving, earth is also moving on its axis. And if you see, there is nothing supporting below. How can I keep even a pen hanging in the air, a moving pen, a rotating pen at one position? And all of us living on this earth, we don't even feel it is moving. Even rotation, it is rotating. That's why, there is day and night. But we just feel, wow, day and night. See how Krishna has made this creation. Krishna says, I enter into each planet, and Prabhupada would say, just like a cotton swab in the air. These planets are all hanging in space. How? Krishna says, I enter into each with my energy and I hold them. Without God's help, we would not even have a place to live, a proper place to live. Then one will say, okay, sir, what other benefit? Krishna says, because of the moonlight, your vegetables, your fruits, your medicines, where are these coming from? The moonlight gives the taste to the fruits, to and it's because of the moonlight, the juice of life, as they say. Okay, outside Krishna is helping. Anything inside, Krishna says, you only eat. Who digests it? And the day the digestive system goes bad, the digestive fire goes weak, we realize, doctor, help me. Right? And especially McDonald's and Pizza Hut, imagine. Now for digestion, we need fire in the belly. There's oxidation that is happening. And you know what they sell? They will sell first, they will sell you burgers made of maida. Very dangerous. And more than that, they will say, if you buy a burger, you get thanda Coca-Cola, cool Coca-Cola free with it. You need fire. You are eating maida, and more than that, you put, cold water on it. What will happen to your digestion? The entire digestive system goes bad. So somebody was showing me statistics. An average American will go once in 2 days or 3 days to the restroom. Digestive system so bad. An average European will go once in 4 or 5 days. Can you imagine? You don't go to use the restroom. You don't use the loo. Just digestion, and everybody's popping medicines. push it out. I need my bowels. Krishna is saying, I am sitting in the stomach, in the belly, as the fire of digestion. So outside, Krishna is helping. Inside, Krishna is helping. In text 15, Krishna says, you cannot live. Imagine, we need knowledge, we need remembrance, we also need forgetfulness. No time to discuss on that now. It's just 6 minutes with me, and I have 4 more verses to explain. Krishna says, knowledge comes from me, remembrance comes from me, and forgetfulness also comes from me. See? Imagine if we do not have knowledge, how will we deal in this world? If we don't remember things, right? Like Robin Prabhu will say, his experience every day. In the night, he forgets everything and goes into another world of remembrance. And by the morning, when he's woken up, oh, you are Mr. Robin, you are supposed to go to office and you are living in Calgary. Who reminds us? By the night, let's say, I could be in Australia. I could be on moon in my 8 hours, that I'm sleeping. And I completely forget my other existence. In the morning, Krishna reminds us, Paramatma, that was dream, that was another state. Come back to this state now. And at point of death, what will happen? We will once again forget all from this life, and another new life will begin. See, remembrance coming from Krishna. Like Abhishek, do you remember what was last life? Who put this forgetfulness in you? This is so that you can live this life now. Come on, try. Again, make an attempt. This is Paramatma doing. And one will say, I have understood material world. I have understood. I completely depend on Krishna. I want to get liberated. I want to go to spiritual world. Krishna says, I have given the Vedas for it. Take to this knowledge. Krishna is saying, Vedaishcha sarvair ahameva vedyo Vedanta krit vedeva chaham. Right? So, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Why does Krishna present the Vedic knowledge? Because we need to understand Krishna for our benefit. The Vedas give right direction to us, how we can mold our lives, and we can go back home, back to Godhead. The Vedas give knowledge about Sambandha, my relationship with God. The Vedas give knowledge of Abhideya. What is the process to revive that forgotten relationship now? Vedas give knowledge of Prayojana. What is the supreme goal that I will attain going back home, back to Godhead, and what relationship with Krishna? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. This knowledge is given in the Vedas. Okay. Chapter 15, the acronym was Home, E. H-O-M-E. E is essence in 3 verses. 16, 17, and 18. So Krishna says, Dvau imau purushau loke ksharashchakshara evacha kshara sarvani bhutani kutastho akshara uchyate. Krishna says there are 2 kinds of souls, or 2 varieties of soul, Kshara and Akshara. Kshara means those who are fallen. All of us who have fallen in this world. Akshara, those who do not fall, those who are in the spiritual world. They are not fallen. Kshara, Akshara evacha. 2 kinds of souls. Dvau imau purusho. Right? And beyond the Kshara and Akshara, so as we are soul, 2 kinds of those who are prone to fall, those who do not fall. But beyond these 2, there is one more soul called super soul. Atma and Paramatma. In text 17, Krishna says, Uttama Purushastva Anya. In text 16, he sings Kshara and Akshara, 2 kinds. But in text 17, he says Anya. A completely different Purusha is right here. Atma is there and Paramatma is there. That Paramatma is the Uttama Purusha. what is that Purusha called as? Paramatma iti. You see text 17, Krishna says, Paramatma iti udaharita. That soul is called super soul. Anyaha. Yoloka avishya. This Paramatma has entered the three worlds. Vibharti avyaya ishvaraha. So Krishna gives this knowledge of Paramatma, and then having spoken about the object of worship, oh, this is the Paramatma that you have to focus upon. This Paramatma is one who is guiding you. God coming to you and residing in your heart as your localized, God, expansion of God, Paramatma. Each of us have Paramatma in our heart. Atma, we are Atma, and Paramatma is next to us. Turn to that Paramatma. When the yogis, when they meditate, they are trying to meditate on this Paramatma feature, the closest feature. Somebody will look at the skies, oh God. Somebody will look at the temple, masjid, or a church. We can even turn within our heart. Next to the soul, the Paramatma is standing. God is so close to us. Nobody can be this close. The closest personality to us is God. But only problem is I have turned away from God. That is my problem. That's why I cannot see God. But turning back to God, that is what human form of life is meant for. Turning back to God and surrendering to God. That is what this human life is meant for. Yasmaksharam aham aksharaadapi chottamaha ato asmi loka vedecha pratitaha purushottamah. Text 18. So 16th verse, Krishna says two kinds of souls, Kshara and Akshara. Text 17, he says beyond Kshara and Akshara is the super soul Paramatma. And in the text 18, he says, I am still beyond all this. As Krishna, I am celebrated in this world as Purushottamaha. Right? So Atma is one Purusha. Paramatma is one Purusha. Anya Purusha. Krishna says, I am Purushottamaha. Amongst all the Purushas, right, I am the supreme Purusha, worshipped in the entire creation. Ato asmi loke vedecha pratitaha Purushottamaha. So, Krishna says, I am celebrated in the Vedas as that supreme person. Whoever knows me as the supreme personality of Godhead without doubt, that person is the knower of the Vedas and will come to the point of performing devotional service unto me. Right? And Krishna ends the chapter text with text 19. That knower of Krishna knows everything. And then he gives the Falashruti. If you understand what this chapter very nicely, Guhyatamam Shastram, that I have told you, Krishna, Arjuna, Buddha, Buddhima, that person is real Buddhiman, intelligent. Krita Krityascha Bharata. Okay. Thank you very much. We have completed the chapter 15. I'm sorry I went past the time. I didn't notice. It's already 2 minutes beyond the time allotted to me. But yes, the knower of Krishna is the knower of everything. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, any comments, any clarifications, any corrections? We are open to accept it now. Okay, Gaurav Prabhu, no questions.
Oh, yeah, Prabhuji. No questions.
Shall we stop?
Yes, Prabhuji, sir.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
We meet next week. We meet next week to discuss the second last chapter. No, we'll discuss 16th chapter. We have 3 more remaining. 16th, 17th, and the 18th chapter. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.